Am I on? Hello, I can't tell if I am on or not. I think I am. Let's see if you guys can see me. I have a different computer set up here. Hey, Pam. Can you see and hear me okay? I'm using a different computer. Let me know if you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up or whatever. You can see me? Can you hear me? Yes, you can hear me. Yes? Okay, cool. I got the thumbs up. Hi, Sarah Powell. How are you, my friend? Oh, thank you. I got it on clearance. Thank you very much. I just got home from church and I'm still drinking. This is my coffee from this morning. I actually just reheated it, which is really gross, but I never got to drink it. I went and did hello to New Jersey. I love New Jersey. In New Jersey, they pump your gas for you. I went to church. I had church didn't go so well. Hold on. So I had a activity planned. Oh, the lighting on this is weird. I had the activity planned for some girls at church and they didn't show up. How's that lighting? I look a little kerflunked because my allergies are so bad and I have my glasses on. Hi, Risa. Appreciate your support, Risa, over on Instagram. I know you wrote me a couple of books over there. I think that was you. Am I right? I don't know. Hi, Stacy. I wanted to talk to you all about iTrackbites because I'm really excited about iTrackbites right now. And I know a lot of you guys are using it. And so I just thought I'm having questions and I'm not an expert. And so I'm getting a lot of questions. And then I'm also trying to figure things out. And so I have my phone. I'm trying to clean it off. I just ate lunch. I'm going to talk about that in a second. So I just wanted to kind of participate with you guys here on live that are interested in switching over to iTrackbites. And I'm hoping that you all can see some of this. We're going to go through it together a little bit and figure some things out. So when you go to your Play Store, you can find it under iTrackbites. The icon, I have it right here on my phone. So I have my iTrackbites icon here, and then I have my FitnessPal underneath that. When you open it up, I have it opening to my profile right now. And you can see, I know this is backwards, but I am on the classic program. So let's see, D. Florentino switched to iTrackbites. Oh no, Risa, you're awesome. I love all your posts. I appreciate you. Hi, Tamsin, how you doing? Tamsin is so sweet. She just sent me the nicest email yesterday. Kathy, I'm glad you can hear me. Okay, good. So I'm glad that this is working. So when you get into iTrackbites, you're going to have a tracker that has this lovely blue color that we're all very familiar with if you're a Weight Watcher. You're going to get to pick your program. So when you do a setup, they're going to have you pick your program. Okay. So for example, there are 4 different programs on iTrackbites, and you can kind of see the little icons here for the different programs. If you're doing Bites Classic by your name, you'll always have this little green pizza guy. Bites Classic is going to be the oldest Weight Watcher program that has existed, okay? And the way they calculate your points is different than Freestyle. So if you choose to be a Bites Classic iTrackbites girl, you're going to be calculating points based on calories, fat, and fiber, okay? That is the original point system that I started on a long time ago. The East Coast loves me. Thank you. I used to live in New York. I'm an East Coast girl. You know, I grew up in Florida, so I'm an East Coast girl. Bites Classic is the program that I'm picking because I had the most success on that. I lost 70 pounds on the old Weight Watchers program before they went to Points Plus. I lost another 10 pounds while I was screwing around because I was irritated about Points Plus. And then over the years, I've slowly gained big chunk of that back. So I was at 288 was my highest. My lowest on actual Weight Watchers was like 218-ish. And then I got down to 209 and then started eating Cheez-Its. I've talked about that before. So I'm choosing Bites Classic for right now as I'm working through sort of my dealio. So yesterday and today I am tracking in Bites Classic. The other programs are Bites Plus. That's going to be this little yellow dude right here. That's who will be by your name. If you sign up for Bites Plus, you are signing up for Points Plus type tracking, okay? Points Plus bases their points on protein, carbs, fat, and fiber, all right? So, for example, on Bites Classic, if I go and eat a banana, I will track 2 classic points. Points Plus, though, they stopped having you track for fruits and veggies, a lot of fruits and veggies, and you really need to go look at the tracker for this. Now, why is this important if you're doing freestyle? If you've never done any of these old programs, you need to be really careful. There are no 0-point lists on any of these old Weight Watcher programs, okay? The only old Weight Watcher program that was no counting was called Core. That was originally what it was called. And then Simply Filling. And that was where you would get a 0-point food list and you would eat until satisfied, and you would have points for during the week to use on pointed foods. Does that make sense? Let's see. Haley Julian says she's loving Freestyle, but double tracking this coming week using the Bites Plus on iTrackbites just to see the difference out of pure curiosity. I love that, Haley. And that's the thing. This is the beauty of, if Weight Watchers would listen to us, of us being able to pick our own program. There are so many different programs that work within the Weight Watchers umbrella, under the Weight Watchers umbrella. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. So back to what I was saying. Do you guys understand the difference between Classic and Points Plus? We got that, right? So on Points Plus, if you eat a banana, you're going to count 0. There's a lot of 0-point fruits that are added. So you need to be really careful on that. Your points are going to be different for the day and for the week based on the program that you select in iTrackbites. That is important because if you're doing freestyle and you have 23 points a day right now, but you also have all your 0-point foods and your weeklies, if you go to Classic, which is what I'm on, you will have more daily points. You will have weekly points, but you will not have the 0-point food list. So if you try to eat all of those points and then you start eating 0-point foods and your weeklies on Classic, you're not going to lose weight. Make sense? I just had someone ask me that over on Instagram because she's worried. She switched from Freestyle to, I think, Points Plus, and she has more points now. And I had to remind her that, yeah, but you don't have the 0-point food list anymore. So that's your trade-off, okay? Smart, let's see, what do they call it? Bites Smart is the little pink dude right here, little pink light bulb. Bites Smart is like old Smart Points. So before Smart Points went to Freestyle, they had you track just all kinds of different things. You didn't have a 0-point food list. Most fruits and vegetables were 0. So Bite Smart tracks based on calories, saturated fat, sugar, and protein. So can you see the difference from Points Plus, from Bites Plus? That's a big difference. If you go to Bites Flex, that's this little apple, purple apple, that is going to be your Weight Watcher Freestyle. Weight Watcher Freestyle is based on calories, saturated fat, sugar, protein, and has 200 plus, more than 200 additional 0-bite foods. Okay, so you have to be a pro member, which means you have to pay $40 a year to have access to the Freestyle part of this program. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Okay, good. Hi, Lori. I'm glad you love me. I need love in my life. Love you too. Let's see. Jean, you're going to start tracking on Smart Bites because you want to track eggs and chicken. That's right. So if you love Freestyle and the way your points are calculated, but you feel like you need more of a stopping point, you can go back to the Smart Points way of thinking, which is where you track pretty much everything except your fruits and veggies. And that might make you feel like you have more of a stopping point on the 0 point foods because you won't have 0 point foods anymore. Okay, got it? Myrna lost 40 pounds on Points Plus, and she just switched from WW Online to Points Plus on iTrackbites. Yes. So one of the other things that I'm absolutely loving about this, there's a couple of things, and I think I've talked about this before. So if you notice here, I have decimal points for my pointed foods. Right now, I have 22.8 points left. And you're like, 0.8, what are you doing? Well, for example, this morning, I had unsweetened almond milk. I had 1 cup. Normally, I would count a point on that. But really, based on calories and the way it's calculated, I only had to count 0.9 of a point. So this is giving me a more exact calculation, which I really like. I feel like on some of the old programs, you could manipulate the program. So let's say you were eating a piece of bread that was 0, and then you added another piece of bread on top of that. That was also 0. If you did it the pointed way, you'd have to round up and count a point. But because you've rounded down, I don't know how to explain it. How else can I explain this? Let me think. Try and think of how we used to do this. Somebody on here had a really good example. She was eating 4 pieces of bread that were all 0 points in the day. She had 2 pieces at breakfast that came up to 0. Then she had 2 pieces at lunch that came up to 0. But in reality, she should count that bread for the whole day. So she would have needed to count 1 point. But the way that this is done, they used to round up or round down on points. And so you can finagle the system. You can cheat the system. It's kind of like eating a lot of 0 point foods when you're not hungry on Freestyle. And you think, oh, they're all 0 points. So the portion sizes don't matter. Any one of these systems you can cheat. You can really, really cheat so that you don't lose weight, which I think is a great reason to factor in your calories. So I have the upgraded Pro, and you can see my calories right here. So as I am tracking in here, iTrackbites is tracking my points. They're not rounding up and down for me. They're giving me the decimal pointed, reality. So in tenths of a point, if that makes sense. And then also they're tracking my calories for me, which is amazing. So I can look at this. Right now, I get 2141 calories a day. Okay, so here's what's mind-blowing to me. All those years ago that I did Weight Watchers Classic, 1, 2, 3, Momentum, Turnaround, all of those, I never really calculated how many calories I was eating a day. And if I go to MyFitnessPal, it's recommending 1,600 to 1,800 calories. So for me to have both of those numbers and understand, like when I go into my weekly points, that I am going above 2,100 calories. And if I'm not working out and being active, hair in my mouth. If I'm not working out and being active, then I don't have a calorie deficit. So that's why when I get on the scale, I don't have a loss. Okay. So if you're doing Freestyle and you're wondering why things have slowed down, why not turn on the calorie counter on this and kind of see where your calories are at? Because the whole point is Weight Watchers is a tool to use for calorie deficit so you lose weight, right? Because we know the whole point is calorie deficit. All right. I'm not saying the whole point to existence is calorie deficit, but because we want to be healthy, we want to eat healthy foods, blah, 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 blah. But in terms of weight loss, we want a calorie deficit, right? Oh, thank you, Karen. So Learning to Be Skinny says she gets 2,500 calories a day. That's right. So there's just such an awareness with this. Yesterday, I felt like light bulbs were just going off in my brain. It was so cool. The other thing that you can do on this, let's say you're really concerned about macros, you can go to your settings, and then where it says use decimals, you can turn that on so you can see that I'm using decimals. If you go to secondary metric, and click on that, you can look at none. So if you don't want to see your calories, you don't have to. You can go to calories or you can go to macros. Okay, once you hit macros, it shows you back in your diary, your protein, your carbs, and your fat. So I'm just like completely blown away. So I know I have friends out there that are doing kind of low carb stuff, or they're watching their carbs, or diabetic, whatever is going on. And this is really valuable information. One of my friends over on Instagram was saying that she flips back and forth between her calories and her macros during the day, just so that she can make sure she's in range. What I love is that you have the ease of having this all in one app, you guys. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know of anything else that is this simple. The thing with MyFitnessPal, you don't have the information as readily accessible when you open your page. This is right here. This is right in front of you. I don't know if you noticed blue dots. They have blue dots available. I got my blue dot yesterday, which is a freaking miracle with the way I've been going lately. Let me tell you what else is on this. So you have your graph on here. So if you go under, there's like a little, I don't know if you can see that, 3 little lines, vertical lines. If you click on that, it's going to show you your weight loss graph. And remember, I just started this. So this will go through your activity. You can record in here. Apparently, you can sync this with your Fitbit and with your Apple Watches out there. I'm not sure how to do that. I have not gotten to that point yet. If I figure it out, I'll let you know. You can look at your progress over the week, the month, the quarter, and the year. I don't have any progress on here because I just started doing this. I have had iTrackbites on my phone since I don't even know when. I've just had it kind of sitting there, and I've tracked on here occasionally, and I've told you guys about that, but I didn't upgrade it until recently. So I had to hit the upgrade button. So if your iTrackbites looks weird to you, you have not upgraded your app. Just FYI. I'm getting a lot. Hi, Anita. Thanks, Anita. Okay, so here's the other cool thing. I love this. If you go on the bottom, you'll see 2 little heads. 2 little friend heads. If you click there, you're in the community. What I love about this is that there is a whole community over here similar to WW and their community. People post pictures. There's like little, groups and things. I love that. You can put your profile on here. This is where your Fitbit is. It tells you how to pair your Fitbit with this app. This talks about Bites Flex. I don't really know because I'm not doing Bites Flex. But yeah, I just thought this was so cool. There is a pocket guide on here. There's a restaurant guide. Let me show you. If you click this plus button right here, you have your activity, you have your food diary, you have your weigh-in, you have your scanner, you have your calculator, and you have your checks. Now, let me tell you, this just makes my little heart beat faster. Under checks, you have your water. You can check off how many waters you've had today. You have your fruits and veggies. You can check those off. You have your dairy. You have your lean protein. You have your oil. You have your whole grain, and you have your multivitamin. Now, this is going to be specific to the plan you pick. So I am on classic. So these checks are, relative to classic, if that makes sense. I feel like I can't talk today, you guys. Let's see. Rebecca Webb says this looks very cool. What is the cost for the app or the program? Rebecca, you can download the app for free. If you want all of the different bells and whistles, it's $40 for the year. They break it down to $3 a week. No, $3 a month. Sorry. but they have you pay the entire $40 for the year. So that's comparable to my Fitness Pal. My Fitness Pal, if you want it to work at its optimum, level, you also have to pay about $40 a year. For Weight Watchers, for meetings, I was paying about $45 a month, something like that. I don't know how much just the app is for WW. You guys can post that for those of you that are just doing it online. But this is $45. I think it's $44.95 for the year is what this is. Let's see. So you can kind of see, here's my stuff that I'm tracking for the day. I love that it's so easy. You just hit the plus, you can track from there, which I just think is amazing. You have your scanner, you have your restaurant guides, you have favorites, you have my food, you have recipes. You can create recipes in here. You have things by brand. So if you look up here, there's Applebee's, there's Burger King, there's Chipotle, all of the different restaurants, In-N-Out, Panera, the snacks by brand, beers by brand for any guys out there. I think I only have one guy. I think Barry watches this. So I think that's really cool. Anyway, any other questions on that? Let's see. Just the app is $19.99. Okay, so Thrifty Hodgepodge, thank you for chiming in. So if you just download the app, I guess it was free when I downloaded it, but now that they've added all the bells and whistles, they must have a price for just the app. I guess there's not a free. You guys correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know. I've had this on my phone for a while and didn't realize it was so amazing. Thrifty Hodgepodge, yes. So for a let's see. So for 2 payments of what you would pay on Weight Watchers, you have the whole year of tracking for the same price. Right. Very interesting. So that's for the pro version. Okay. So the main app is free, but if you go for the pro, it's $40. Okay. So Thrifty just clarified so that I wasn't misspeaking. Heather, you're welcome. I'm glad that the explanation is helping. I know I've just been looking at this. I think you guys know I've just been spending some time thinking about what I was going to do. And then I looked up the iTrackbites and I was going to look at classic stuff. And then I had my friend Anita post about it. And I was like, this is just so much more. I don't know. It just seems more intuitive. It seems like it's the stuff that I want to see. I don't know if this is what you guys want to see. And there are people that really love Freestyle. They really love the Weight Watchers app. Please know that I'm not trying to talk you out of that. This is about my own kind of just excitement, wow moment. Anything else on here that I wanted to show you? There's reminders. So if you go to settings and you go to reminders, this will actually turn on an alarm for you to remind you to track your food. Come on now, people. It will also remind you when to weigh in. So I love that. There's a help center, there's email, there's restore purchases, there's community guidelines. They do watch their community. From what I've seen in the community, it looks very positive. So I was excited about that. So anyway, just a little bit of information for you. Hopefully I explained the differences. Please, if you switch out of one program to another program, make sure that you read and understand the guidelines of what you're doing. Don't assume that if you're going from Freestyle to Points Plus, that they're the same, that your points are calculated the same way, that they're the same program. You need to switch in your head as well as in the app. So when you go to reach for a piece of grilled chicken, you're not thinking 0 points and you don't track it. You have to track. And that's, I think, the selling point for me is that Classic for me has the tracking. It just seems so, I feel like I'm not overthinking it, you guys. Honestly, the 0 point food list, having to think, oh, am I eating too much? Is this going to impact my weight loss? Did it? I think for a maintenance plan, that would be great for me personally, but I just need to track what I'm eating. I need to track everything that I'm eating and all that good stuff. Just keep on top of it. So, all right. Anything else? Any other questions? try to get rid of, I always get a couple trolls. So let me try to get rid of trolls. If anyone sees a troll, I would appreciate, I think Anita's an admin in here. So thanks, Anita, if you see anything funky. And I don't see any other questions on this. Kim uses iTrackbites. Chit Chat Paddywhack says, when you're done doing this, you need to change the title so that people will come in and watch you explain this. Oh, I don't even know what the title says. What does it say? I'm doing this on a different computer, so I feel like it's not my usual. I feel like this is more high def, so you can see every freckle on my head. So just say hi to Jan. Hi, Jan, and hi, Barbara Turner. Barbara Turner says, the reason people are not losing weight is that they're overeating 0-point foods. Right. So, and I don't ever want to take credit for this thought. This is something that Fat Dag, FATDAG, Fat Dag over on his channel last week discussed. If you are on Freestyle and you were doing great at first and you were losing weight and you feel like you're at a plateau or your weight loss has slowed down as you've gone down on the scale, remember that your daily points will have changed in your app. What doesn't change is the 0-point food list. And you need to remember that you also have to decrease your calories from that list as well. Does that make sense? So if you have a deficit in your points have gone down, you're eating less calories in your points. You don't want to fill back in all the way up with 0-point foods, so you're eating the same amount of calories or even more. The point is to have a calorie deficit as you go. And so your portion sizes need to get smaller in all areas, if that makes sense. He's the first person that explained that. I had a total light bulb moment last week with that. I just, after I lost 25 pounds on Freestyle, what happened was my points had gone down, my daily points had gone down, but I was still eating the same volume of food, maybe even more in the free foods, the 0-point foods. So I didn't have a calorie deficit. I didn't have enough of a calorie deficit. So I would lose like 0.2, go a couple weeks, lose 0.5. And I was walking, and trying to make up for it. But the more I would walk, the more hungry I got. And so instead of eating pointed foods, I was eating a lot of the 0-point foods. And I just couldn't figure out why I was not losing weight. So he's a coach for Weight Watchers. He said, people need to remember that when your points go down every day, you also need to be adjusting how much you are consuming of the 0-point foods. Okay. In other words, Amy, who would eat a whole bag of grapes and a couple bananas every day because my points had gone down, I was doing myself a disservice and I didn't even know. But I will say that for me, that is too much head work. Okay. And that is my issue right now. And I think Anita said it really well. We are paying Weight Watchers. First of all, to give us this information, we're buying their product. We're buying their product. So we need for them to explain this to us. This should not be something that a year and some months later, a coach on YouTube that not everyone has access to tells us about. Like, why didn't Weight Watchers explain that? I never heard that in any of my meetings that I went to. Maybe one of you guys did. I never did. No one ever told me that. Is it common sense? Yes. When I hear it from a coach, it's common sense. But we also had meetings at the beginning of Freestyle rolling out where they talked about eating 0-point foods all day and saving your points up and using all of your daily points to have a splurge meal. Well, if you're doing that every day, you don't have a calorie deficit, you guys. So, if you're eating, these big 0-point, I'd make these big 0-point chilies and things and have 3 eggs for breakfast, just whatever, because I overeat. That's my whole problem. And then I would go out to dinner and be like, hey, I've got 28 points for dinner, and then I couldn't figure out why I wasn't losing. So call me stupid, But Weight Watchers, I was paying you to explain the program to me. I was, and you didn't explain it very well. I just got a full explanation from a guy on YouTube who I really appreciate. So I'm going to probably get off on some kind of soapbox, but we're paying for this tool. It is a tool. You are a consumer. I expect adequate education on a product like this so that I can utilize the tool and lose the weight. So I think the same is true for iTrackbites. Make sure you do your research out there. Make sure you look through the app. Make sure you read whatever guides are on the app. I know that you can go search people out over on Instagram and here on YouTube that are using iTrackbites. I think Diva and the Divine, I think it's her name. Somebody pointed out that she talks about iTrackbites on her channel. She'd be another good resource if you're thinking about, switching over. Then I also think if you're in meetings, it's a good idea to go ask questions about this and try to find out if there's education available on how to make Freestyle work better for you. Because if you really love the program, there must be a way to work it. I didn't do a good job. I did not do a good job, and I take full responsibility for my own failings in that area. I'm not completely blaming Freestyle. It takes two. Right? I don't know. What am I talking about? I don't even know. I'm just like rambling. Let's see if there's any other comments, and then I'll stop talking and talking and talking and talking. Thrifty Hodgepodge is doing Simply Filling. I love Simply Filling, but unfortunately, I don't like that I don't have those stops on my eating. And then also, I really want to get away from the fat-free foods and such. Kathy Johnson said, Kathy, this is the best comment. Kathy Johnson said, if I had common sense, I would not have gained weight and need a weight loss program. I totally agree. Like, that's why I'm paying, that's why I'm paying for this product, because I need some help, people. I need some help. Anyway, and I do love, I'm a Weight Watcher girl. Okay, so I did want to show you how this works for lunch. I'll show you what I had for lunch today before I go. So I opened my app up. I'm going to go to my food section right here. I'm going to go to my scanner. There's my scanner. So I will tell you what I had today. I had a Joseph's Heart-Friendly Pita Bread. So I'm going to scan that. So it scans just like the Weight Watcher app. So there it did. It scanned it. These are worth 0.5 of a point on Weight Watchers Classic. I had one pita today for breakfast. Is it a 0-bite food? That would be if I was doing a different program. Is it a filling food? Yes, I can put that there. It's also telling me down there the calories. Whoops, I just got rid of that, but it's kind of telling me my ratios and what I should be looking at. So I had one of those. I had a guacamole home style. These are the singles. Oh my goodness, these are so good, by the way. Delicious. So I spread this on top of my pita. You guys know it's Lent, so I'm eating no meat, no dairy, all that good stuff. What did I do? I hit the wrong button. Okay, there's my scanner again. So I'm just going to scan. The scanner works great, by the way. I don't have any problems with that. Each one of these cups is 2.4 classic points. So I'm going to look back through that. It's not a filling food. It's telling me that my fat for this is 64.3%. My carbs, 9 grams of fat, 4 grams of carbs, 1 gram of protein. So I'm going to track that. I hit track. And then here is I had I had a tablespoon of hummus. So I actually had half of that guacamole cup, but whatever. I'm trying to do this as an example. I also had lettuce and tomato, but I'm trying to teach here. I'm not making a lot of sense half the time. Okay, so 2 tablespoons of the hummus is 1.6 bites. Is it a filling food? I kind of consider high fiber hummus a filling food. I'll just put sure, why not? That has 5 grams of fat, 4 grams of carbs, 2 grams of protein. I'm going to track it. Okay, So then if you go back over here to your food diary, it tells you where your points are for the day. And I'm gonna have to go take those out because I had already tracked for the day. And there's my protein, carbs, and fat ratio. And remember, I can always go back over here to my settings. Go to my settings. I want to look at calories instead of macros because I already looked at my macros. If I want to do that, hit save, go back to my tracker, and it tells me my calories at the bottom instead of my macros. So the scanner works great. I actually had 2 pitas, so that's why I was doubling everything. So I had 2 pitas, each with a tablespoon of hummus and half of one of these little cups of things. Delicious, by the way. So that's kind of the story. I hope that helps. Okay, so Anita, the filling foods on the old Weight Watcher programs, and I think that this might be something on Smart Points too. You guys, I think they called it something different, but if it had high fiber, they considered it a filling food because you're going to be less hungry when you're eating filling foods instead of empty processed foods, I think is what they were trying to get at. And so the Simply Filling list is all filling foods. Hopefully that helps. Kim, yes. The fact that this shows calories is a game changer for me. And Kim, I've had it for a while too. And this was just with the most recent update that they just totally knocked it out of the ballpark. So I'm just, and I would not be surprised if Weight Watchers in January, you see that their app has calories on it. I would not be surprised. Mark my word. I bet you they're going to learn from this whole situation. And they're going to have to come out with something pretty amazing. I think it's going to have to blow up. Yes, so it shows macros, it shows calories. It's just wonderful. Thank you, Letha, for correcting. Let's see, Carrie at Weight Watchers with Carrie did some excellent videos on Simply Filling. Kathy is saying, so go check that out. So somebody just asked me, Kathy T just asked me if I like Classic better than Points Plus. Kathy, I didn't spend a lot of time on Points Plus, and I will tell you one of my issues is that I can overeat anything pretty much. And on Points Plus, you don't count fruit. And so when I started Points Plus, after I had lost the 70 pounds, I felt like my weight loss slowed down. So I wasn't a big fan of Points Plus. I like the Classic over Points Plus. If I had to rank them, I would do Classic, I would do Smart Points, Points Plus, and then Freestyle. That's my 1 through 4 ranking for myself. And see, it's very individualized. Yes, and Karen's saying, you can connect Fitbit to the iTrackbites. Yes, I know that. I have not done that yet. Thank you, Kathy. You're sweet. Tamsin says she's so happy that I'm enjoying the program. Yes, I am enjoying it. And Tamsin sent me some stuff on Tops yesterday via email. Tops is taking off pounds sensibly. I don't know if Tamsin knows this, but I did Tops for a long time. I actually lived in a town that did not have Weight Watcher meetings. So I was doing Momentum and going to Tops meetings, and I love Tops. I have not been to a Tops meeting in many years though. So they have a great eating plan. They do more of an exchange plan. So prior to Weight Watchers coming out with points, they had exchange plans. You guys probably remember. Let me get this cookbook. You guys remember this cookbook that I got? I can't remember who sent this to me. I'm so terrible with names. This is the old Weight Watcher favorite recipe cookbook, and it goes through in the back. It has like the exchange stuff in there. Some of these are hysterical. The potato pancake. I mean, everybody's got to eat a potato pancake, right? I don't understand the pictures. That must not have been the potato pancake. What do you think? I don't think that was the potato pancake. This says German stew, and it has a picture of bananas. I think they got the pictures off with the recipes. You guys know that I love cookbooks. I have like, and I don't ever bake anything out of the cookbooks. This is the problem with me, is that I do not cook like I should. I did want to mention, so if you're like me and you have a lot of freestyle cookbooks and things, just remember that all of your Weight Watcher cookbooks have ways to calculate points down here. They will give you your macros. So for instance, this Bananas Foster is 231 calories, 8 grams of total fat, 5 grams of saturated fat, 38 grams of carb. It tells you. So no matter what program you're on, just make sure your cookbooks and your recipes have calories, fat, fiber, all that stuff. Make sure the nutritional info is on there and you can calculate it very easily. So there is a calculator on this app. Let me find it for you. Okay, so here it is. If you're wondering, so you do have your calculator, just like you have on Weight Watchers. You do have your recipe builder on here. You don't have things like the meditation and the walking and all that stuff that I used for like 1 week, and then I haven't used it since. So let me see if there's any other comments. I think we're good. Any other questions? I'm not the expert. I'm not pretending to be an expert. I've been using this for 2 days. Okay, bye, Charlotte. Thank you for hanging out with me live. I need to go too. I've got a bunch of stuff I have to do. So have a good day. I'm going to be doing classic for a while here, and I think this is going to be sort of the long-term thing. We're going to see how it goes. But I'm liking it for the last couple days, and I actually feel a little bit better mentally and physically, which is good. I look a little crazy because it was kind of raining out there. I am posting over on my Instagram, and it's for Nurse 17. I do lives over there, and I'm sort of doing some brain dumps over there. So if you all want to come hang out with me, it's more informal. Not that I'm very like formal over here. Sorry, I was trying to itch my nose, not pick my nose. You're welcome, Kathy T. Thanks for hanging out. Am I a nurse? I am a nurse, Jack, and so now I'm hiding you. Oh, you gotta love it. I love YouTube. Thanks, guys, for being so supportive. I'll see you guys later. Have a good day. Stay in orbit. I don't know when I'll be back. Apparently, I'm just being very sporadic here and there as I figure things out. Karen says it takes 21 days to create a new habit. So let's do it. Let's create some good habits, guys. See you later. Bye.